Boy, this was like the biggest thing where it happened weeks ago. Seems like age ain't, but it seems like ages ago, where all this month along with wrestling is like it's been everywhere now. I will get more topics on my next videos, but yeah, for this, I have to talk about, like I said in my Double or Nothing review, I will talk about the situation with Maxwell Jacob Freeman and his incredible promo on Dynamite a few weeks ago. So, yeah, that happened at the Dynamite at the Double or Nothing. So, um, like I said, I will get to, like, this month have been crazy with wrestling. Like, it's been non-stop with how many wrestling news are now. I will get, like I said, I will get more on topics with that in my next video. So stay tuned also for that. But yeah, we got to talk about Maxwell Jacobs Freeman's promo and his work shoot. And yeah, and and when I heard the same day that MJF was gonna appear down, because the general consensus that he was supposed to be gone. He wasn't even supposed to be on this show. Like, you saw the match with Double or Nothing, after Double or Nothing where MJF got destroyed by Wardle. He had fucking oxygen in his fucking face, being carried out on a stretcher, being like probably sent to the ambulance, something like that. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be on. Like, the general consensus was he wasn't supposed to be on. And then we heard news about MJF and Tony Khan supposedly having a meeting like the Monday before that show. And I think when I saw it, I knew something was on. And when they announced MGF first, I knew something was. I knew it wasn't going to have. It wasn't going to be the type of MJF that we seen, especially with the news. Like, for context of what happened, even the days before this promo. So I have, like I said in my Double or Nothing review, Double or Nothing 2022 review. NJF no show and Fan Fest. He was still supposed to be at a casino that day, and even before that, there have been constantly been battles with behind the scenes, and this started when MJF. I think he mentioned WWE in an interview, and that interview wasn't even supposed to get approved on, and and but the if you know the interview I'm talk about the interview with Ariel Hawaii, where he did, I think back in like late March. And yeah, that, and supposedly Tony wasn't happy with it. He was supposed to get approved, and yeah, it started like being some heat, like, and this been going also. It goes also more to that, like, MJF apparently is not happy with how he has been paid, how less, like, supposedly he's making less money than WWE talent, and he's getting even paid even less than some mid-card talent in AEW. Which, when I heard, I was like, really? Like, okay, I get why you want to pay SWWE guys, even though some of them like, let's say for example, if it's someone like, if I don't know I don't know Billy, if Billy Gunn makes more than him, but let's say if Billy Gunn got paid more money than MJ, that's a little bit. But like, if it's guys like Palm Bryan, Christian, Sting, those sort of people, I get why, but it's like even making less money than some mid-card talent in AEW when this guy has pretty much shown the last few months he's pretty freaking capable of being a main event, upper main event level tier talent. Like, and you heard it in his promo. You said, like, you heard it in his promo, and I think supposedly I heard like PW Inside in the report and how he's making less money. Like, he was. They were going, like, they were talking about contract negotiation, like, on New Year's Day, and then something happened. That's what we really got started. Yeah, and all of this, boiled up into that promo with MJF on Dynamite weeks ago, which started off by saying, "Oh, I'm probably hurt for all nothing," but when he took it, and you notice the symbolic when he took his scarf off, that's pretty much like how he pretty much his character has been with like walking around in suit and stuff, but here he was like pretty much just in shirt, a long sleeve shirt, took off his scarf. When he said he's Maxwell Freeman, we were off to the races. And what line up about the build up to this promo, sometimes the best wrestling promos, the best wrestling angles are the ones that come from real emotions, some real stuff that happened behind the curtain, like some of you things that you heard MJF say in that promo was building into that from what happened in the weeks and months prior behind the curtain. When and even he talked about some fans, like when he talked about the fans when like MJF said probably like he tried to patch up that Tony tried to patch up things in the main, but he was saying too little, too late. Maxwell said. I was thinking like, man, what could have happened in that meeting? And when and I also love when MJF said that Tony had a big party meeting with the network executives, which they had a party after the show aired, when that show happened. And MJF said it would be real shame something bad happened, which coincidentally he almost nearly did with this. And then MJF really took things to a new level with the fans when he talked about, and And then and when I say come for real emotions is like there's been some fans that even before like before I think when AEW like first started and even in the after that when MJF first arrived to the scene, some people were like he's good but not like well he's really entertaining on the mic but not really good so in a way. And I think early on I was kinda in the same cap as some of the fans with MJ. Like I always knew the guy's talent. I always knew he had it on the mic. Like when it comes to like one of the best eight mics workers in pro wrestling, like I think he's right up there, if not at the very top. He said, but he's a generational talent. Wait, and he really is when it comes to his film. But I never thought he was really anything amazing of it. And the more time on with the matches he had with John Moxley, even the one with Jericho, I think at like All Out 2021. I thought even with the match with I don't know if the I don't know if the match with Cody at like Revolution in 2020 was all that great. It was good. I don't know, but also talking about the matches with Moxley, Jericho, and the final match at All Out from last year, and then a match with Darby in Full Gear 2021. That proved to me that MJF can really go in the ring. That it proved to me. But probably sure that's something that pretty much bothered him with MJF when MJF said like, oh, and then when MJF like said like, oh I'm oh like he pretended like he said to the fans like sorry I'm trying to figure like remember like he said to the fans like oh I always knew MJF was great in the my part but I always knew MJF was going to win when some early on some fans say he wasn't really good at the ring and then MJF some fan and he told the fan were asking how he can be the best one of all and they would say I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world. And I love how they go because I make you feel and unlike the rest I don't have to do a bunch of bullshit to get there. That was great. And I love I love how he said when if he really was when the fan wasn't really good in the ring, and then he answered the question to the fans. Oh really? Is it because I don't watch New Japan? Is it because I don't dump um on other people's heads? Is that why? And that's when he go off on the fans. He said, "Your opinions suck. Your opinion doesn't matter. You sit there when you sit there on Twitter numbling your numbs and then pretending that new opinions are the same as the old." And then he said, "You guys don't know shit." That was great. He said he and then he said like you fans consistently taking me for granted, but it ain't you fans, it's the big man in the back. He said don't bother reaching in his pocket to pay the man that's been busting his ass for us to stay around. No, he made sure he hoards all that money. Made sure he hoards all that money to give it to the new WWE guys that he keeps bringing it. That couldn't his goddamn boots, which you have heard him say in interviews. Like he's talk about all these WWE guys paying more hand with some of them are not as good as him in his words. That was a great he said and then he got even deeper when he said, "Hey boss, would you treat me better if I was a WWE guy?" And then he went on a great way when he said, "You have the problem. You have a position of a wrestling company where the only position you should be assuming is behind the guardrail with all of that." And that was a great night because, like, Tony Khan, first and foremost, is pretty much like us. He's pretty much a wrestling fan at heart. Like, like he comes out with promos thanking the fans all the time, stuff like that. So that was a great night. And he said if a lot of wrestlers want to take up his spot, then he says great because I don't want to be here anymore. That's when he goes off the line, "Fire me, you fucking Mark, you fucking Mark, fire me." That was great, and that whole Michael thing, that was like, that was like fun. That was pretty a clever ending, and then the whole show got dark and went to a commercial. That was a great ending. Like the way that MJ got on the camera when he told directly to Tony to say to fire, and then he said "you fucking Mark" when the camera was looking down. That was a money shot when you look at it. So that was a great visual right there, and yeah, this was an all-timer promo. Like, where does this rank in like all-time promo shoots? I see a lot of I like there's obviously some a bit comparisons to this and to the CM Punk 2011 pipe bomb. Ironically enough, 11 years ago this month. Um, what made this kind of different was like with Punk, it was like the more calm, cool, collective, meaner tone to the true promo of how he was Pitbull was doing it in a more calmly way where like his character is like he was like an like he was straight edge. He was like Leo the Nest's stuff like that he was doing at that time. And Punk was like legit leaving at that time when that promo happened, and that pretty much opened Vince's eyes and it propelled him to the next level of superstar in that company at that time with CM Punk in 2011. This will probably most likely be that way. And when I talk about different, CM Punk was like this calm, collected tone to that promo. AJ was more like a much angrier. He was screaming a lot, and that pretty much goes along with kind of much MJF's character. Like no offense, like his character was pretty much a whiny, spoiled little black bitch. Like that pretty much was his character. But I think the more the more he got really serious with it. That's what makes it great for him. So like I said, there was a lot of comparison with the CM Punk pipe up that pretty much propelled him to the next superstar in that company in WWE that time. This will most likely end up the way with MJF, as I do think he will win the world title after this. Like how can you not? Like after that promo, he's pretty much got to win. What did this shoot promo rank up like? It's I was debating a lot. This was better than a pipe bomb. Like to some extent, no. I mean that pipe bomb when that happened, that was quite shocking. But even at that time, Pump it was more of Pump just didn't give two shits, and he was pretty much at that time thinking about leaving WWE 2011. So with that promo wasn't, but like with that promo, he was in that mood of what you were going to do, fire me. I think he tweeted on Twitter at that time that he was leaving. So yeah, but with this promo, like it's like MJF said on the end he wants Tony Khan to that he doesn't want to wait until 2024, and there were a lot of but he's under as of now this promo he's still under contract with AEW. Like they're going to great lengths to try to erase MJ as much as possible, from taking from his roster page, taking his merchandise off, removing from intros. Like they pretty much trying to erase everything. And what made the all great after that promo, the commentators went on the air after the commercial and they acted like it didn't even happen. Like it never existed. I thought that was exactly the move to make it look like it was not part of the show. And yeah, like to some extent I might enjoy this more than the pipe bomb with Punk in 2011 to some extent, because with this promo I think MJF was shown more passion. Like you can tell he was really like he was like some of the stuff was like really bothering him, like getting paid less, getting paid less and more than a time. How the fans took him for granted at the start, early on. Like some of the things you can truly feel in that promo has bothered him. So I think that one makes it up slightly above that CM Punk pipe on 2011 promo. But those two promos were great on I think my favorite worship promo wrestling was the Paul Heyman one in 2001. Like that stuff was like when he called that promo Vince and was like seething at him. That was some riveting stuff at that time. That was probably my favorite worship promo. But yeah, this has to be up there as an all timer promo. Like that MJF promo was crazy, and like I said, it will probably lead to him winning the world title. Apparently CM Punk got injured, and while he will take some time off, they won't relinquish him the world title. Instead, they will crown an inter AEW World Champion with John Moxley taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi at the Forbidden Door, which I think Moxley is going to go over here. So that inter champion kind of puts me to a perspective And I was like kind of thinking like, what if like MJF beats because Punk, we don't know how this story is going to play out in the movie 4. And with Punk, I don't even think he's supposed to come back until like end of the year. So maybe he does some like maybe MJF beats like Moxley and then he does like what Punk did, leaving AEW with that title, like trying not to return, some shit like that, not sure. And then when he goes out, and then like that with like MJ beats Monster for like the end of the year stuff like like end of the year for AEW is like full year in like November, so MJ wins the title, then leaves supposedly, then Punk comes back as the champion, and then MJ comes back, and then you get a unification between Punk and MJF. I do think with this promo, it like somehow, some way, it will lead to an MJF CM Punk match. I don't know how they're gonna get there, but I do feel it will lead to that match, to MJ versus CM Punk, and it was almost kind of teased at the commercial break with after MJF, well, he was standing there in the ring, then CM Punk came out, and when CM Punk got to the ring, MJF just left the belt. So you can see some plans, seeds in motion for that MJF CM Punk inevitable rematch for the world title. So yeah, so that's my thoughts about the MJF promo. How do I rank that? Like I said, it's an all timer. I don't know. I don't think it's like my favorite worship, but this is like up there. And like yeah, that was a great promo. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you think about that promo. Where you think this whole storyline will lead in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Marinius, and I approve this message.